you mentioned Donald Trump. Another.
Oh, wow.
You know what? One of the most annoying things he's done, and one of the most, and he's doing pretty scary things at the moment. Let's face it. It's a very scary world where you've got someone who's a misogynist, who's a homophobe, who's racist, who's all the ists you can think of, who is the president of the United States of America right now, and he's there, and he's still the way he is. He's still using that platform in a very dangerous way, because we've seen that since he has been in office. Other nations, in terms of where LGBT issues are concerned, have been pointedly against it in areas where we've always known that. For example, in Chechnya, where it's in Russia generally, it's always been an issue there. But the level at which things have escalated since he's been in power, and I feel that there's a direct link to the fact that he's been so openly homophobic, and that's allowed people. It's sort of
I know what you mean. It
I
kind of gives people license to kind of, if you've got the leader of the free world actually saying that, some really outrageous and horrible things, then actually it kind of gives people license to,
of course,
to be outrageous and horrible. We live in a very different world, though, don't we? We live in a world where, comment is cheap. Everyone has an opinion. Of course, everyone has an opinion on everything, but actually now people can kind of hide behind the screen and be really, really horrible online. And I think, Trump's a reality TV star. He is the ultimate kind of sum of where we've been going with social media comments and reality TV over the last 10 to 15 years, I guess.
The only problem, Ant, is that he doesn't wait until he's on social media to say things.
Well, no, he does. He tweets unhinged stuff at like 3 in the morning on his Twitter account. I mean, that's extraordinary.
President of the United States of America.
I mean, he made a meme with Kofi or whatever it was. What does that mean? Is it just him falling asleep with his hand on his smartphone?
It's one of the most extraordinary things that we've seen in recent times, I think. And I think one of the things that he regularly does is he makes sweeping changes to policy, and I put that in quotation, because he'll just come out and say that things are going to change, like he did with the whole issue around transgender people being accepted in the army. Yeah. And he's just literally come out and said that on social media without there being any real discussion around a policy change. And all his generals are sat there going, what the hell?
Why? But it's all about, for him, I think it's all about the making a statement, causing the reaction. So actually it's quite similar in a way to Piers Morgan. It's all about getting people to either and I think in his world things are very black and white. You're either with me or you're against me. You're either a friend or you're an enemy. And actually, do you know what? My understanding of the world is not quite like that. There are lots of kind of shades of grey. People are not ultimately just good or bad. Some people are, right dicks, and some people are all right, and sometimes, and people can flip between the two. That's sometimes. True. Yeah. It's, I don't know. I think maybe Donald Trump takes comfort from the fact that he thinks his understanding of the world, and it's this very black and white view of the world. But sadly, the world is a lot more complex than that, and. The scary thing is, like you say, he just makes these sweeping generalizations and these sweeping statements, and
I'm surprised that he's still in office.
But on a level, that's kind of appealing, though. We've seen that happen with the referendum vote here, and with Brexit. All of those have been discovered to be actually blatant lies, and
why are we not up in arms about this?
Well, I think there were lots of people who were up in arms about that, but
Do you think it's loud enough though? Because I find that it's yes. I mean, of course, there are lots of people that are really sort of pissed off about it. But let's face it, majority of these people are the people who were against it, against Brexit anyway, right? I'm wondering, what about the people who were sold on a lie? And now I'm putting my own views to one side because obviously I'm not a Brexiter. I'm not. I think it's a terrible idea. But
yeah,
let's put that to one
and funnily
side.
enough, I do as well. But and you would expect me to because I'm the sort of person who would be staunchly for Remain. You know,
But if you put that to one side, you've got to admit that it's if you're somebody who supported based on the information that you were given at the time, and you know, I firmly believe when I say to people that you're entitled to your opinions, I actually mean that. So I'm not going to say you're entitled to your opinion and then afterwards say to you, well, you can't have that opinion. I might debate why
everyone is
why I see
entitled
that.
to their
Yes.
opinion.
It doesn't make it right.
It doesn't make it right, and it doesn't mean that you know that there isn't sometimes there is responsibility with how you express that opinion. But everyone, of course, is entitled to their own opinion. It's I mean, I think a lot of people were sold a crock when they were sold Brexit.
But why are we not seeing those people coming up and saying, you know, I was lied to?
I mean, you think of what's happened in the last 6 months in politics in the UK.
Yes. What's still going on now?
I have no idea where we're going to be in 6 months' time. Gosh, I wouldn't even like to predict. But one thing I will say is that I predicted that we would vote for Brexit.
Did you?
Yeah. There was something about the way that that campaign, the Leave campaign, used emotion much more effectively than the reason that was used by the Remain campaign. And you could see it in those final weeks. They were just running away with the argument. And as we know, it was based on blatant lies. There was no plan. There was no plan if they won.
Which is why they didn't think they were going to win anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And we're left in a right mess. Yeah. And you know what makes me sad is all of those people who voted for Leave, and are now, you know, in no better position. And actually, if our economy tanks, they're going to be in a much, much worse position.
Well, a lot of people, I had a debate with someone recently. I don't say debate. I posted an article on Twitter, on my Twitter account, saying it was talking about how the economy is, you know, heading for a downward spiral and it's not getting any better, etc., because of Brexit. And it was also commenting on the fact that Brexiters had commented and said that it's worth it, and I said no, right? And loads of people came back and they were like, yes, it is. Yes, it is, and I'm sat there thinking.
For what though? What do we gain? So sovereignty. What is sovereignty?
Well, I don't know.
What is taking back control?
I don't know. Well, from who?
And I don't get what is freedom when actually my right as a British citizen to live or work elsewhere in the EU is going to be taken away from me. That is not freedom. That's taking away my freedom.
I don't understand. I don't think people don't think people get what it is that they are giving up. And, you know, what I also think is that people are so focused on this whole argument around immigration. And you talked about the emotional sort of play that the Leave campaign did with people, and they knew that this was something that was, you know, it's there, it's down there in people, and
it's the difference between head and heart, isn't it?
And
you know, it's
the
guttural kind of you know, appealing to people's basest instincts.
And
really.
They pulled it out, and they used that and turned it into something quite nasty if you think about it, because you remember right after the referendum was announced and the sort of hate that came out of it, and the sort of violent, really sort of nasty, neo-Nazi sort of
Yeah,
thing message that was coming out of it.
any group that was perceived as other, wasn't it? Basically, was targeted. So
I was shocked to my core. I mean, we all know that we live in a world that's imperfect, and that, although we've come a long way in many areas, whether it's around sort of LGBT rights and acceptance, and we're very privileged when you look at other parts of the world, but there is still so much hate and homophobia and racism and all of that sort of thing still out there.
Yeah.
But what we've never seen really is, what you don't see on the day to day is that sort of being, it's not in your face and it's not there. And I think perhaps that's why it's that false, in a way, that false security, that maybe we don't have as much acceptance as we've perceived